Hello, guys.
Hello, hello.
So nice to see you tuning in.
Nice to see you guys.
Nice to see you again, Pale Riders. I'm not that burned yet. You know, I have my biker burn, that line there. That's what between the gloves and the jacket. That's always. If I'm out in the sun, that's what.
Yeah, I think you look a little bit pink, maybe a little bit dusty as well.
We rinsed the dust off, actually. We, at this very moment, I hear Stefan, hello, and Tony and Seymour.
Hi there.
Nice to see you all together. That's the first, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's have a toast.
Let's do that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
You have something good in the glass.
We do it with wine. And the Serengeti.
Skål.
All right. Cheers.
Skål grabbar. Cheers.
Oh. The land of the
And it's not too windy, so they can hear me.
Yeah, your reception is quite good compared to where you are, to be honest. And so, how has this adventure been for you, Robert?
Yeah. First of all, we are in Africa, in Tanzania. And yeah, how's it been? Is so many impressions, of course. So it's hard to just say more than interesting.
Okay.
But
wait a minute.
Yeah,
we got echo. A lot of people tell us this echo.
Okay.
Turn one of the volume knobs down, I guess.
But I do not know which one. We need
so who is echoing?
We need to figure this out. Maybe they. I need to. Maybe it's on my side.
MC Perry and you here. Thomas through me or is it Rob and the team?
Is it better now? Is the audio better now?
Dabba dabba doo, matata, matata.
There's something going on with my. Every time I connect my AirPods, it's kind of like, but nah, still echo.
Yeah. Could they could you hear who is echoing? All or one? Okay, so it's Rob and me who's echoing.
Okay, then it's not on my side. All the settings are correct, but we could probably try to.
It's hard for me to lower the volume here. I'm on the phone, no pods or anything. But that's what I can use right now. Okay, turn down except one.
Yeah, okay, I'm turning off Matthias. Look, just talk you, Robert.
Yeah. Hakuna Matata, Jambo Buana. Let's see if we have any echo. Is
No. Yeah. I'm here right now. Do you hear me? Yeah, do you hear me? Cheers out there. Still echoing. Bra på Robban, säger Björn här. Okay, so...
Yes, you mute and you unlock when you
I'm good as well.
And so that we're good and continue. So how was Africa? Right now we haven't ridden bikes for a week actually. So because we arrived in Tanzania by flight and we rented the bikes there to Dar es Salaam. Actually, Bagamoyo is the town just on the mainland coast to Zanzibar. There we got 4 bikes, the Honda CRF 250L.
Ooh.
So, the smallest bike I've been on adventure with, but we had just one bag and got on the bikes and took off. First thing was driving on the left in a crazy traffic. So that was we had every morning we had to remind each other, Robert, left. Oh, and then,
that is crazy.
Yeah. And then we headed out on the dirt roads, but Tanzania has almost like a loop within the mainland, in the country, which is a highway, and that's tarmac, that's asphalt. Everything else is gravel. In big cities, not Dar es Salaam, but the most quite big cities like 80,000 population, it's only one asphalt street. Everything in between, in the houses and shops and everything, it's dirt, even in the cities.
Yeah, okay. So could you tell us a little bit about your bikes?
The Honda CRF 250L.
Yeah.
Underpowered little donkey. But it worked really well because we're not going. Yeah, sometimes you wanted to make sort of a burnout or something like that, but it's not possible. At least with the luggage.
Yeah, it's like a tractor.
Yeah, but these bikes are big bikes here.
Okay.
All bikes you meet are 150, Indian style or. What?
No. We keep on going.
Yeah, they are like watching this live thing.
And it's like bringing your own children and having the own support group right behind you like that. No pressure at all.
Yeah.
I am not surprised to see Stefan and Tony with bottles.
Yeah, that goes with the trade.
But is the bikes down there more like Himalayan bikes or like gravel bikes?
They are like traditional naked bikes.
Okay.
And they pimp them a bit with some fabric over the tank and some the Tanzania flag and some chrome stuff, and they like to pimp it. And you meet 10 bikes for every car. You don't see that many cars. It's motorcycles, bus, and trucks.
Yeah.
Like that. And on the roads, it doesn't matter how far distant you're out in the desolate areas where no one can live here. They're walking. It could be 100 kilometers that way and 100 kilometers that way, and people are still walking there. So, and they run out of fuel, and there's flats, and if you're on there's always things happening, and people carrying things on their head, and I started doing that with my luggage actually.
Oh yeah. I see you have a little flat spot on top.
Yeah.
That's a poor angle.
now I
But,
know. Yeah, okay, so the bikes was Hondas there, and did they perform?
Yes, they are very. We actually said that some parts of this trip we wouldn't like to do at all on our big bikes at home.
okay.
They're 200 plus. Uh, these are quite soft in the suspension, and you have something on the road here which is called the African massage.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's the from weather and water and everything, but you get the what you call it, the washboard.
Yeah, okay.
Washing
It's
board,
not the
yeah.
same as in Thailand then.
Yeah, so it's impossible to ride over without just, and it's for hours.
Yeah.
Can you show that again to the camera? I didn't get that. That was brilliant. But we actually got that in Norway as well, in all the corners when you're going uphill in the mountains on gravel roads. Yeah.
This is on flat roads.
Okay.
And we're here in August, and it's the dry, cold season, which not much rain. There's always just a few drips in the morning, and then just and it's the cold season is perfect. It's 25 to 30 along the coast.
Okay.
But the land where we've been riding is like a plateau. It's 1,300 meters is sort of base level.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And how is the temperature
So it's
up there?
been 20 to 25,
Okay.
Something like that. And
But was it?
yeah, so it's,
could you guys ride off road, or was it only strictly to the roads that or the paths that you are provided for vehicles?
at home I look at open street maps and things like that and see what's gravel, what's tarmac, and so on. Tarmac is you can find it if you want to transport. You have to go in a bit and find the tarmac, because today we want to reach that place and so on. Everything else on OpenStreetMap is just trails.
Okay.
Like in Sweden, when we see it on the gravel map, everything is just a spider web of gravel roads.
Yeah.
So,
How is it demanding trails or more off-road oriented, or is it easy to ride?
it's very diverse, because you look at the map. Half of the roads are on the map, half are not. They look big or small on the map, but it doesn't correspond to reality. So you can go and this looks like a main route from this town to this town, and it probably is, but it's just out. You don't see a road always. It's sort of.
Is it technical trails as well? Technical.
Sorry.
Is it technical? Technical riding.
Yeah, we went into up in the mountains, and then we had some quite steep, loose climbs on small trails, and so on. But the interesting thing is that those are also main routes. People live there, and we go up these technical stuff, and there's a guy with 30 kilos of firewood on his bike going up the same trail.
But as you said earlier, before you started this trip, you didn't apply for the drone thing before you could go, so you wasn't allowed to fly a drone when you came to Africa. Was that a problem? Did you find that to be an issue, or did you manage to make a lot of content still if you didn't have the drone?
We didn't bring the drone because of the laws, and the only problem would be if they found it on the. But here, if there's no real law.
Okay.
There's no enforcement at all. We see a lot of police, but they're only interested in making sure that the trucks with heavy loads are roadworthy.
Okay, but that is kind of good.
That's our bikes. We asked the guy that we rented the bikes from, why don't we have any license plates on our bikes? No, they always fall off.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So we took them off, and nobody bothers you with that. It's that they say that because traffic among lions and malaria and everything, the most dangerous thing is traffic here. If you go on the asphalt road, it's very hilly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of buses and trucks, and go uphill, and there's cars behind them that don't care if it's in the curve, it's uphill, over a crest or something. They don't care at all. Or even buses, they go out and just start overtaking, and if someone is in their way, they just have to leave the road.
Okay.
It's so they explained it. They do have laws, but they figure out who did wrong after something happened. It's no use.
That is not good when you're a
making
motorcyclist, I do imagine.
No.
Yeah.
So business first, and the largest vehicle first.
But we didn't spend a lot of time on the big roads. We did the long stretch the last day just to reach the place where we were supposed to give back the bikes.
Stretching.
But long stretching.
Okay.
I want to go back.
This
in
is
the-
actually our yoga instructor that we brought along to keep our 50+ guys. So
That's
the
great.
gym program every morning.
See, Tony looks like the yoga guy.
Some really amazing places that we've stayed at. Small huts on the beach with all of these farms and stuff, and along on the foot of Kilimanjaro, really nice farms that we've stayed at with really awesome places. And everything you see, of course, because we're from Scandinavia, we've been in Europe riding, everything you see here is different.
Yeah, I would imagine.
If you see it's different. There's a big 2-meter lizard crawling, and it's and of course a lot of poverty.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Robert, how is the wildlife when you're talking about this lizard? How is the wildlife you see in general?
It was different for different areas. When we started off, we saw a lot of baboons. We started at the coast, close to Zanzibar, but on the main, and started there. And those baboons were man-size. Really scary. It was like a crouching man that size. So they were not the Thailand size.
No, the small ones. No, I understand.
Then they have their corner teeth like finger size or something.
Luckily I didn't see that. But they had a different body also. It was like a mix of baboon and man in a way.
Yeah, I don't think we should touch too much on that because you could probably hurt somebody's feelings. But I do understand what you mean.
Anything, but there's it wasn't really until, because of course we want to see the big four, not 5, because the lions is we don't want to meet lions on motorcycles.
Oh.
At least we didn't search for them. So, but when we got to Kilimanjaro, from there we left the normal roads, and you sort of go into a game area. So it's not fenced or in anything. It's just a region which is protected. And we could go. You have to pay like $40 per person with bike, and then you can go straight in there.
Okay.
And there was some lions in the area, we were told, but luckily we didn't see any. And when we got in there were all the classic things that you want to check off: the zebras, the ostriches, the elephants, the giraffe, antelopes, and we saw it all.
Oh, that's cool. That is really cool.
Yeah. And I think that was the best experience of the trip, because here on Zanzibar, not do anything without buying an experience from a tour company, or it's also packaged. But when we got there, we just rode out there, and we had a tip that if you go to this place, there's a ranger station there, and they know where the elephants are. So ask them. So we went there, and off the road, just following tracks and the GPS. And there we found the ranger station with a Maasai and his buddies. And there was one ranger there, and we asked him, can we see elephants? Yeah. And we didn't understand how we were supposed to do it, but it turned out he wanted to jump on Seymour's bike.
Oh.
So we unloaded the bag, and he got his gun. He went to change to his uniform first.
Okay, of course.
And and brought his gun, and then jumped on Seymour's bike, and then he was just pointing in front of Seymour where to go.
Yeah, but when you say gun, you mean rifle, yeah?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I would imagine bringing down an elephant with a gun could be quite hard.
The thing that I'm interested in, how you say it's a web of roads. How is the navigation? How did you navigate? Did you have a guide or GPS or maps, or was it difficult?
I do recommend having a guide or someone knowledgeable of the area and so on. And we rented the bikes from a company that only does guided tours. But we only rented the bikes because we don't want to just follow someone. But we had them, and they were fantastic in that. We had them on WhatsApp, and we talk to them sometimes. We're here. Do you have any suggestions? If we wanted some ideas and inspiration, we just send them a WhatsApp message, and then there, or you can go there, and so on. So, but we made they don't provide GPX files. They just give points of interest and recommendations and things like that. So we had to do the routing ourselves.
Yeah, I think I saw some of your routes on Stegra.
Yeah. So we just draw some lines, and that should work. And then the roads are usually there, but we see a lot of roads that aren't there that would perhaps be closer or whatever.
But when it came to luggage, you said you brought lightweight luggage with you on this trip, and it was kind of less than you normally would bring. Did you have enough, or should you bring more stuff now than you've been there?
the thing that weighs it all down is the camera stuff, all the chargers and da da da. The clothes I'm wearing, I don't need more than that. It's really comfortable. No rain gear needed.
No.
Because if it rains, it's very short and you dry up just so quickly in this period. So, but what you need, what also weighs it down, is tools and tubes. Because when we got the bikes, they gave us 2 tubes for each bike.
Oh,
and that's 8 tubes. Now we can't carry all this.
Oh.
But it turned out we did them.
Yeah, that is quite
that's
interesting.
Great to know.
Yeah, so we have 4 or 5 flats during the 12-day trip that we did.
But how many kilometers did you ride each day?
I'm not sure because we went more. I have no calculation of the distance. We because we go up in the mountains. It's slow. We get flat. So and then we don't want to ride when it starts to get dark because it gets dark like this.
Yeah, I do understand. But what tires did you run on? Was it really knobby tires or was it 50-50 tires?
Yeah, I'm not 100%. Yeah, it was Metzler.
Oh.
Hope the audio is not too bad because it's starting to blow a bit. But it was Metzler knobby tires, like not quite enduro tires, but quite aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
What air pressure did you go with? Did you go with the lower tire pressure or did you go with high tire pressure?
High tire pressure, because there's a lot of rocks that pinch flats was when we had punctures on the front. It was usually pinch flat, and we increased it, and also we managed to rip the valve on the front tire.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the first day. So and the tire pressure was really low. So it's usually that you rip the valve on the rear tire when you give too much gas, but this was apparently when braking or something like that.
Oh, good to know.
Or just a bad tube.
So if you didn't count kilometers, how many hours did you ride per day?
We started usually at 9-10 in the morning.
Oh.
And then rode around 3-4.
So from hangover to you got thirsty again then? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you showed me a picture of cider that you had one of the nights. Was that apple cider or was it like kind of like the stuff you buy in the store with a lot of sugar, or was it true proper cider?
I know you are the cider man. It was apple cider with dry and really not sweet.
Okay.
Dry and like a thirst quencher.
But
so not that strong in taste.
But it was alcoholic.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah. But if it's really cold and because it gets quite hot here now when the sun is on, where we are now at least.
How is it? I assume that you don't tent outside with the lions and so you have been on like cabins or hotels?
We've stayed at quite a few ranges. You have at the bottom level you have guest houses and lodgings, and those are sort of semi-private homes with and they take guests, and you get breakfast, and they can serve dinner and so on. And we wanted beer, of course, so they had to call and have someone go over to the store and buy beers for the Swedes. And that was really, but that's interesting because you meet the real people, not the service people. Yeah. So that was, and she called herself Madame, so we have to call her Madame at the Acacia guest house. But so that was interesting. We paid €10 per room, including breakfast. So that was cheap.
Yeah.
And then we beach huts, sort of more hotel-like, and now we're sort of at resort almost, but that's because we stopped riding. But you can live really well here. I mean, if you want classy accommodation and so on, it's certainly available here, and more enjoyable than other places that I've been, actually, because people are happy and so welcoming, and
that's great to hear.
Yeah, but
Seymour had a cold.
But did you feel like they were honestly, some countries you go to, you feel like the people are a little bit kind of like fake when they are really welcoming because they want to get your money. But I've heard a lot of good talks about Africa, and the people are so friendly down there. What is your kind of experience? Did you experience any bad behavior from anything, or something sketchy that you would try to avoid in the future?
No, not in the hotels. At the hotels, everything was really sincere, and we sort of, it was their personality rather than their job and so on. But the let's say Tanzanians are really friendly and so on. But then we talk to other more experienced people here, that neighboring countries and in some places they are more aggressive in a way. And me and Stefan, we had a situation with a fisherman from Uganda who called police, and now he was screaming police, and he was grabbing us, and but he wanted only money, because we went into this looks nice. Oh, there's a big fish market, a huge fish market with only locals, and so much sound coming from there and everything. So we went in there, and I took up my iPhone to film a bit, and he thought that us two were the biggest fish that he could catch that day.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and he got aggressive and wanted money for being in because he saw I was taking photos, and now he wants to get paid for that. And yeah, it was. But then Tanzanian people came up to us afterwards, apologizing for our experience in Tanzania, and that guy is actually from Uganda, he said.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they are really they want us to have a great experience in Tanzania. And a normal guy on the street in a non-touristic place always welcomes you and asks you how you like Tanzania, and welcome to our country. And so
that is cool.
Really welcoming them. Yeah.
So how is the price picture when you're traveling? Gas, food, everything like that?
Gas is about €1.50. €1.50 for gas if you get it at the petrol station. If you want to fill from bottles.
Okay, so you don't get fuel at the petrol station necessarily.
No, you can come there, and it's the last. It happened to us. We need to fill here to go the next stretch, and no fuel.
Okay.
Yeah, but then they offer to, yeah, we can call our friends and we can bring bottles and we can, yeah. So
that is so cool. Yeah, that is quite an adventure just to experience that.
Yeah. And at that fuel station they had none, and we needed it. So nobody could fill up their car or anything there, but they were so keen to help us. So they opened up and sort of looked and tried to scoop up fuel from the bottom of the tank. And they managed a few liters up for us.
Yeah.
Was it helpful to be a group of 4, or should you consider being would it be the same as a solo driver, or do you think you were beneficial of being in a group with 4 people?
It's always it feels more secure, of course, to be a group of 4.
Yeah.
But now that I've been on the road, because in the beginning we didn't know anything, how people were gonna be or anything. But with what I know now, I would have no problem going alone.
Oh, cool.
In Tanzania, that's the only experience I have. But surprisingly friendly everywhere, and you don't go out in the dark where you don't know the area for wildlife or people or whatever. So like that. So, but it was lunch.
Lunch.
We stay at the place and we eat breakfast where we stayed. And then we know in the evening we get to a place and we can have a few beers and eat there. But in between on the road, you go through cities, and you need to be a bit brave to get into that beehive.
Oh yeah, with traffic and people and.
Yeah, I mean you don't drive past. Oh, there's a restaurant and the menu, and it's sort of, you have a soup kitchen and a vehicle workshop and everything is just, it's a street and people and cows and oranges and mechanics and people. Just, you will see on the videos, it's not like riding through a city.
Wow.
Even if
I'm really looking forward to see what you got in store for us, because for me and many others, it's just a dream to get to Africa and to see it with your own eyes through your lens would be, I'm really looking forward to that.
Definitely. Yeah. What did you typically eat and what did it cost?
The food here is, I'm trying to find words, because when I came here, I had no experience with African food. So I'm trying to find similarities with other styles of food to describe it. And I would say very close to Indian food.
Okay.
They have the masala and the stews and rice and so on. That similar with cinnamon and clove and things like that.
Was it hard for your stomach?
No one had any real stomach problems here.
Okay.
But of course we stay out of tap water. Yeah, always. So but we actually used tap water with the water purification filters, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that works well to drink, and we didn't have any problems with that.
Oh, great.
Amazing.
So it's sundown, it's a little sunset here now.
Yeah, I have a little question. What's in the middle of the table? I see guys are reaching for something all the time. Is it chips or is it beer or?
It's empty.
Okay, it's empty now.
Yes.
One for you, Rob.
Yeah.
But that's also a thing that's new to us. Do you want crisp? Yeah, okay, then we make some. So popcorn, crisps, French fries is always starts with peeling a potato.
Oh, so it's not in a bag like you with this. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, you can buy them in the store, but at all the places that we came to, yeah, but we want some crisps for the beer. Okay.
Now that is insane.
And
that is just insane. But how long does it typical if you kind of ask for that? How long does it take before they bring it to you?
It can take about 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, so it's almost like in Norway with normal food then.
Yeah, so what do you typically pay for a meal?
You just have to finish his red wine.
Cheers.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah. And it's hard to describe what it's like when everything is different.
Yeah.
Everything like that. But so yeah, that will show in the video, of course. It's not a technical trip. I mean, it's not technical riding. We had a few that were fun riding, but I'm glad in a way that it wasn't that technical because there are so much things to look at that's trivial to those who live here, of course, but it's all new to us with every little plant or animal or person doing something.
But we have to agree that is all part of the adventure. It's kind of like meeting people, the culture, the food, the animals, like you say. This kind of that experience is also so much of an adventure, especially for me. So I do imagine that would be just as fun as going technical, that you can kind of experience everywhere else as well.
Yeah. So this is culture adventure, not culture in visiting all the museums, although we went to a museum and got a guided tour actually, which we felt that because we went on the bikes, stopped overnight, went on the bikes, stopped overnight, went on the bikes, so you really see what's along the roads. You also miss a lot of other things in the country. So I'm in the jungle here, you know. Yeah. And yeah, so we completed not circle, but our trip for 12 days, and then we went back to Bagamoyo. Bagamoyo is the town where was the harbor where all the slaves from inland Africa and Ivory were transported to that harbor and to be shipped over to Zanzibar to be used there and sold further. So that's all the slave history almost for at least the eastern part with the Arab countries, Oman and India and things like that. So there's a lot of history in that town. So that's why we spent a bit time on the guided museum and tour there too, because that's quite interesting. And then we spend the last week on Zanzibar, which is the brochure paradise island. But it's a bit sad also, because we met the proud lion warrior Maasais on the steppe on the road. But here, the Maasais are here for the tourists. They come here in hordes and sell stuff on the beach. So you will see 10 Maasais for each tourist here. And they won't let you go. They're selling stuff. You can't. We're hiding and not looking at them, and it's so everything because Zanzibar is where rich people meet the poor people, of course, and the poor people want to get as much of it as possible.
Yeah, that is understandable.
Yeah. So you have seen the backside of that culture as well, then. So I could see.
But I think that is like in most countries where you see huge differences between rich and poor. Kind of like every country you go to. For us, when we go down south, it's kind of like everybody trying to go to the beach, trying to sell you stuff, trying to give you stuff, and won't leave you alone. So I think that is part of the culture.
Yeah, then it's inevitable, I guess. People come with their pockets full of money to a place where people don't have like that. But Zanzibar is our waiting lounge for the plane. So the main adventure is
Tanzania.
I think we experienced quite a bit of Tanzania in the way that we wanted.
But would you choose to go for a longer time? Next time, if you did it again,
was 12 days enough?
We did 12 days, and we said that there are so much things to see, so we could easily spend another week and just go on, but we got tired quicker here.
Yeah.
Riding because. Perhaps all the impressions and stuff like that, and you don't there's so many things here, so it's sort of distilled in a way. And also the roads, if we go to the interesting places like on the steps, and it's quite far you have to go. Tanzania is a big country. I will move a bit to get some more light. Like so.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, you can see you have a little bit of redness in the the pale raider.
And Tanzania is a really big country. We just scratched the top of the iceberg, really.
Yeah, could imagine.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a really interesting and great ride, and when you go somewhere normally, you can sort of expect 90% of what happens. You sort of can imagine already, but when you go in here into the beehive of normal life, Tanzania, it's a different thing.
Yeah, you can imagine.
So,
have the team discussed anything about the plans for the next year's big trip or something?
Yeah, we want to do, and we're quite determined on that. Next big trip will go to America, to the US, but we will not afford that next year. So we're going to save up money 24 and 25 to go in 25.
Okay.
So that means next year we'll do a small trip. We're talking about a two-week trip to the UK or something like that, and do just a 2-week tour there, and also because that's a fantastic place to run.
Yeah, and it's cool to have when you've been to Turkey, you've been to Africa now, you've been on kind of like this long trip, to get back again, to get the contrast for your own neighborhood and then go out again. It's kind of like it makes it a little bit more unique, I think.
Yeah, indeed, and we really we talked about it. We need to do the up north trip again soon.
Yeah,
we had just as much fun, if not more fun, on that northern Sweden trip that we did than we had on these more distant trips.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be chasing lions and stuff like that.
And I think that is a really good point as well, because you kind of telling all the viewers that most of us are dreaming of the big adventure, going really, really far. But many of us actually have a really great adventure in our backyard. So just going out in your own country or just exploring that or going to your neighbor country can be just as much as an adventure than going all the way to the Southern Africa or, America for that case.
And for you, you have your group dynamic as well, and fun together, and that's an adventure as well, wherever you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really looking forward to getting back home, riding home again.
Riding your big bike.
Yeah, and the CRF Honda here is a dream bike. They stop us and they want to look at this fantastic bike and the no big tires and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a really fancy bike here. But if you go on a bike, no one bothers you, not even the police or any corruption. There is corruption, although we didn't see any. But our guide told us, if you're on a bike, you're poor.
Oh.
They don't bother with any bikes. If you come in a big safari and with your you have the money and then you're more exposed. But if you're on a bike, no one bothers you.
That is good to know.
And you're sort of on the same level as everyone else, and there are some motorcycles. You go into a city, it's covered with only motorcycles everywhere, going both directions, parked along all the sides, groups hanging out, fixing. And that's why also, if you have a mechanical problem, they can always fix it.
But did you?
We are closing up to 1 hour soon here, and I wonder, what was your funniest moment? Could be many, of course, but some of it.
The funniest moment that was yesterday when I thought Seymour went next to me and I let off a big fart, and when
Seymour again.
But it was a lady.
No. And what did you say?
I quickly just turned away a bit.
Okay.
And sorry, that wasn't meant for.
But
no,
I
anyhow.
always, when I get yelled at, if I go on a road that I'm not supposed to go on or anything, and people stop me, I always say, "Jag är svensk." I just play like I'm Swedish. So you didn't just do that and you just say, "Oh, I'm from Sweden."
Does it work?
No, we had some great moments. Nothing in particular, but the ride on the elephant trip with the ranger in the back of Seymour's bike, I think, was the highlight of riding bikes, because it was not a purchased product tour or anything. It just turned out that, and it felt so genuine. And we went on the steppe just north towards Kenya, and no roads, just big plains that was really flat, and you can just go on the planet.
I'm not sure. Have you ever been to Thailand? The one thing I remember, especially from Thailand, that I haven't encountered in any other country I've been to, was the smells. When I went to Bangkok, it was like there's a little bit of sewer, but with the heat and a little when you put the smoke with the sentence, it was kind of like always filling the air. Is it something down like that down in Africa as well?
Some smell memories is burnt plastics.
Oh.
That you feel sometimes close to towns and so on, and because they burn the trash just in a pile.
Yeah.
mixed with some nice cooking, because they do that outside along the streets also, and so it's experience for the nose, absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing how things like that just can bring you back to a place just like an instant.
Yeah, and into your room in the malaria regions there, that before you go into the room to sleep, you can hardly breathe, because they use 2 people with 2 spray cans each, just spray the whole room, so it's saturated with the mosquito
sleeping
spray.
at the tongue.
Yeah, so that's also one.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah. So glad you had the time to do this with us, and just to get the update of how you're doing and how it is.
Yeah, we're going to look for a place to eat now, and my buddies are getting a bit eager, so I guess we keep it to an hour. And now, not sure. Is this Islamic preacher? He's really aggressive when he speaks to the crowd. I can hear him in the speakers.
Yeah, and I have one more question before we say stop. Did you meet an African who speak the African language, like we made fun?
I heard the click language on the strangest place. Not here in Tanzania, but on the plane from Addis Ababa to Dar es Salaam. Ladies and gentlemen, please have your seat belts and blah, blah, blah. And then the next language.
Yes, that is so brilliant. You got the safety speed. Oh, that is beautiful. You should record that. That would be amazing.
Yes, I will do that. I will put the recorder on just in case it happens again on the way.
Yeah, you need to do that. That would be awesome.
Otherwise, it's only Swahili here.
Okay.
Yeah. So Hakuna Matata, I guess everyone says that here, especially the sales. So
Palo Palo.
Pole Pole.
Palo Palo.
Oh, thank you. Pole Pole means slow. You can drive Pole Pole. You can live Pole Pole.
Can you be Pole Pole?
Yeah, you can be everything. You can show your Pole Pole also if you want. But and then Hakuna Matata, no worries, everything. Hakuna Matata, and then we learn some Sante is thank you, and things like that. Jumbo. If someone asks you mambo, that's how are you? You answer pua pua.
Pua pua. Okay.
That's
but cool. You need to say it with a deep kind of like pua pua. Yeah.
Mambo. Pua.
Mambo. Yeah.
All right, boys.
Okay. Thank you so much for seeing us again. And
Yes, it was a pleasure. And as you said, I didn't miss you at all. It was it's been a vacation.
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. I actually talked a little bit before we went live now. It's just, I haven't missed you at all. So, yeah,
it's been awesome.
Let's take more vacations like this. Okay, thank you all for tuning in, guys. And if you have any questions to Robert, leave them in the comments below, and we make sure that he answer in the upcoming weeks. Say bye to the boys for us.
Thanks, guys.